What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, going to be bringing you a round 5 game, I believe. We're almost at the end of this week's Thursday Night Cup. This is, of course, SECS. You could see it right on top of the screen, but it's semiprodota.com if you want any more information. And also, Coddle Guy is in the other channel. So, if you are listening to this channel, you're doing the right thing. I mean, I don't have anything against Coddle Guy, but I'm just saying that this channel is definitely going to get you a lot more value. Sneaky Nick Assassins is going to be playing up against URT, who we've seen play 2-3 times already. We just casted Sneaky Nick's Assassins last game, where they actually have decided to assemble the team now. Sna swapping out, or swapping in, and Ush swapping in. So it's more of the full ensemble as opposed to more of the rabble that they played with last game. But it worked last game, so you can't really fault them. URT are going to open up their draft with a Faceless Void. First picking Faceless Void yet again. Saw this in the last game. It's a big hero, but it doesn't really work if you don't actually get him any lane support. He needs some way to get farm. If he doesn't, then he's just going to be a non-factor, which is exactly what we saw in the last game. Like 111 or something like that, something outrageous. Mask of Madness is a good item on Faceless Void, but you kind of need another item besides just Mask of Madness. That'll definitely help you kill people, and you really need to help when killing people, especially against the lineup that Sneaky Nick Assassins have picked up for themselves. They have Brewmaster and Tide. There's a lot of bulk just with those two picks on the Nick side. And Skywrath Mage is going to be the pick as a good hero when you're, first of all, either ganking Brewmaster or when Brewmaster is looking to jump into your team. Being able to drop an Ancient Seal on a Brewmaster, if you're quick enough. I mean, sometimes it won't happen, but if you're quick enough, you will be able to absolutely screw over the Brewmaster in a big way. Also, when you're trying to deal with large HP pools, and you don't necessarily want to deal with a lot of crowd control effects when you have a Kraken Shell on the other end, well then Mystic Flare is exactly what you want. So Skywrath Mage, it's a hero that they probably could have waited a little bit longer to pick up, and there's really not too much synergy that Skywrath has with any other heroes. I mean, the Ancient Seal equals plus magic damage equals good with any magical damage hero, but Faceless Void is purely physical, and really Ancient Seal for amplifying damage isn't necessarily the most important thing to have on your team. Regardless, they did pick it up in the second game I saw them, and they had a Skywrath Mage mid supporting a Luna, and that worked out pretty well for them. So maybe they'll go for that again. Versus a Brewmaster, hell, they could even lane a Skywrath Mage solo mid. I wouldn't count on it, but it will be awesome to see. Sneaky Nicks, they have the Brewmaster to go towards that mid lane. Tidehunter most likely going to be going to the top lane by himself or the bottom lane by himself, depending on what Sneaky Nicks want to accomplish. Either way, Tidehunter, just a giant roadblock for anyone, really. If Tidehunter ends up in a lane versus the Faceless Void solo, it's going to be really hard for the Faceless Void. Like, Faceless Void, first of all, isn't a great hero when he's, as far as lane control is concerned, and in a melee versus melee matchup, you'll be hard-pressed to find someone who could beat a Tidehunter. Like, there aren't that many heroes. Maybe a Darkseer, but even then, Tidehunter gives Darkseer a pretty good run for his money. So Earn Real Tangos, they're going to have to play their cards so that they dance around this Tidehunter versus Faceless Void matchup, and or make that matchup happen, but make sure that the Tidehunter is pressured back all the time, which is a little bit difficult. I mean, Tidehunter, if he gets pressured back by the 0 base armor Skywrath Mage, he could easily just turn around and say, screw you, bird guy, I'm going to hit you with my anchor, and then Skywrath Mage just has to fall back. There aren't really that many options for him. But as of right now, in the second ban phase, Invoker, as well as the Enigma, getting rid of some really big team fight ultimates, which is really what Sneaky Nicks have going for them in a big way at this point in time. Between Split and Ravage, hell, they don't even have to pick up like a Disruptor or any other giant AoE ultimate. That's probably going to be enough to, at the very least, give them a very large edge in any subsequent team fights. They will have to work around the Chronosphere, which is pretty good against Tidehunter and Brewmaster both, as far as locking them down if the Faceless Void does get enough farm. Like, I want to see a Faceless Void with farm just because last game was kind of depressing, seeing a really poor Faceless Void. Like, he needed welfare, he needed some government assistance or something. At Wraith King, Not the it's a pretty suitable combo with Skywrath Mage, especially when Skywrath hits his level 6. Having a stun or a Chronosphere or something to set up a Mystic Flare is pretty huge. It does a lot of damage if you keep the target in there. And if you can't, well then you're probably going to be disappointed. But Sneaky Nyx with that Wraith King ban. And what is going to be their pick? They need to assemble 2 supports. They need to assemble a 1-role hero. And at this point in time, there's not... Vengeful Spirit would be pretty good. Covering whoever is going to get Chronosphered is fairly important, and it's a simple pickup as well. They're instead going to go for a Visage. It's another hero I think the familiars do fly around in the Chronosphere, so you know, you'll be able... I can't hear... I have apparently a lot of static. Oh, I think it's because my open mic is messed up or something. I don't know. Maybe change that to that? Change that to that. I don't know.
5 seconds remaining.
So, since I actually have maybe some people watching in Dota TV, we might have some problems with the mic. I'm sure someone will let me know eventually. Hopefully someone will let me know. Because if I was just like transmitting static the entire time, then I'm pretty pissed. But there's no way for me to know in Dota TV. So, we'll just continue on and assume everything is perfectly alright. Visage is going to be the pickup. I still think Vengeful Spirit would be pretty good, especially after this Visage pickup. Being able to drop a lot of damage onto someone with the Magic Missile, and then Soul Assumption, especially against the likes of Skywrath Mage or Faceless Void, who aren't exactly really tanky heroes, you'll be able to bring them down, and it's a very vicious roaming combination. That being said, though, they're both very fragile, and Faceless Void, if things are going the other way around, Faceless Void is going to be able to just go to town on those weak support heroes. Maybe not as much Visage, because Gravekeeper's Cloak is a thing, but wow, okay, earn real tangos. They're going to go for an Axe pickup. And here is when things get a little bit interesting, because Axe is a hero that we've literally seen go into every lane. Sometimes he's mid lane. We've seen that in the last tournament, I think, the last big one, ESL. Axe versus Brewmaster is it's not as bad for Brewmaster as you might think, but it's still pretty bad. In a melee versus melee matchup, I think Axe is pretty good. You could put him right up there with the Tidehunter as far as effectiveness in the melee versus melee matchup. But Axe could also just as easily go into the jungle or go into a side lane, try to mess with the Tidehunter or the Brewmaster. It doesn't really matter. Sneaky Nyx. They're going to go for a Witch Doctor. Saw that hero played last game. Was decently effective, I would say. When you have a Tidehunter Ravage setting up for a long channel of the Death Ward, or, you know, hell, just having the Brewmaster cause some chaos so that your Death Ward could go down, lay a Maledict on someone. It's a pretty solid combination. Not as much burst coming out from the Witch Doctor as there would be from, you know, the VS that I was talking about before. But still, Witch Doctor would be... It's a pretty good hero, at least it's zoning out everyone else. I don't really know how I feel about the Witch Doctor pick in this particular game. In Earn Real Tangos, they have a large AoE disable in the Faceless Void. They have a silence that is pretty high range, so actually channeling the Death Ward is going to be pretty difficult moving forward. But aside from that, I mean, Witch Doctor Visage, it's still a very dangerous roaming combination. If you Maledict someone and then drop a Soul Assumption on them, then they're going to really be hurting. And Rubik is going to be the pick for Earn Real Tangos. I really like this pick now. Not only does it give them an additional stun, you know, some positioning to deal with, to let Skywrath Mage drop his ultimate, let Faceless Void get a couple more whacks in, but also Tidehunter ultimate, Brewmaster ultimate, hell, even Visage and Witch Doctor. There are very few bad skills to steal on the Rubik right now, and Sneaky Nyx making a very smart ban in the Silencer. When you have this much team fight, this much spell reliancy, getting rid of that Silencer is absolutely paramount. But Rubik, with the Skywrath Mage, they're gonna be able to put some serious hurt onto whoever they roam into. And Skywrath Mage is almost pure damage. Rubik is not as much so a damagey hero as a utility setup hero, but that's perfectly fine. I mean, if you have a lot of damage coming out from your axe, something like that, you just got to keep them there and just mess with them a little bit. Sneaky Nyx, what's going to be their last pick? It's going... Okay, well, that answers that really quickly. It's going to be a Tiny, so we're going to be seeing a Visage Witch Doctor Tiny. It's a pretty good hero against Axe, with the fact that Tiny has very low base armor notwithstanding. Tiny hits very slow and very hard, and that's not what you. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. Okay, guys. Okay. Well, very slow and very hard hitting attacks. That's what you want to have when you're going up against an Axe, because you're going to be hitting him. He's going to be spinning fewer times. Sniper, though. That Sniper, though. Is it going to be a solo lane Faceless Void Sniper Rubik Skywrath lane? And then Axe solo? It's going to be a little bit interesting. Lycus was the farmer last time, whereas your boy JC was playing the support. So, based off of the other games, I cannot say with absolute certainty what the lanes are going to look like. I mean, with Axe, it was already a little bit of a problem. Now, granted, Sniper, as long as he doesn't go into the tri-lane of Tiny Witch Doctor Visage, he'll be pretty fine. I mean, Sniper versus the Tidehunter is a fine matchup for the Sniper, as is Sniper versus the Brewmaster. Going up against Visage and Witch Doctor and Tiny, not as much. It could be a little bit difficult. I'm just going to fix my mic a little bit more. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do for mic threshold. Like, this doesn't seem to actually do much of anything. And that doesn't do much of anything either. So I'm just going to leave it there. And if it's not good, then let me know, because I don't know. I just don't know, guys. I just don't know. But of course, this game wouldn't be a real game if it didn't have a pause. And looks like we are good to go. So Sniper, being the last pickup for the Earn Real Tango side. It does open the door for a little bit of pushing if he does go heavy into that shrapnel, which may or may not be the option for Lycus, but we'll see. The lanes are definitely going to help determine what it's going to look like. Let's go over to the next side first, because we have IX Mike going to be playing the Tidehunter, heading towards the top lane solo with boots, so he expects to be zoned, and, well, he might get zoned. We'll see based on the other lanes. Ush is going to be playing the Tiny down on the bottom lane, supported by Lust's Witch Doctor, who was actually solo mid last time. And Fluff and Stuff's Visage. On the mid lane, it is going to be Brewmaster, played by Sama to you. Tubby the Fat is going to draw the short straw on the Earn Real Tango side. He's going to be going 1v3, and he's not going to be getting jack done. He would like to get levels, but against Visage and Witch Doctor, you're going to be poked out of lane. So, sorry, Faceless Void, you're not going to be having a fun time. Mid lane, it is going to be handled by the Sniper of Lycus. Going toe-to-toe with the Brewmaster, you'll be able to get lots of free attacks off Brewmaster. Can't really afford to go super aggressive for Sniper, especially if Sniper gets 1-2 points and take aim. Hell, even just 1. He could effectively, ping at the Brewmaster nonstop, and Brewmaster expects it. He's going to go for Drunken Brawler level 1, knowing that the evasion and the crit for ease of last hitting, is going to be a lot more viable than a clap, which is never ever going to hit its target. Other heroes on the URT side, we got Flying Zebra supporting as the Skywrath Mage along with Tolera's Rubik. And then top lane, it is going to be my boy, JC, going to be going toe-to-toe with this Tidehunter. So lots of physical going to be happening, and a lot of this top lane is going to depend on how the Skywrath Mage and the Rubik actually work against this Tidehunter, because Axe is not exactly the most dependable of heroes if you're going to be going for kills. I mean, he is, of course, chance-based. Pseudo-random distribution kind of helps that, and the fact that Counter Helix will deal a more consistent amount of damage. But I expect this Tidehunter to have a much better time than this Faceless Void. Time Walk, he days, but he's going to get zoned out, and there's really nothing that a Faceless Void can do about that. Looks like Earn Real Tangos, for now, they're going to do exactly what I said they did in the last game. Going to run a dual lane in the mid. So Brewmaster already getting some of his restoratives forced out. This could be just a short-term strategy. Have the Skywrath dump his mana pool onto the Brewmaster to ensure that this lane is won. Or at least, force out something like this. Because if Sna runs out of restoratives before he gets his bottle, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Because he will constantly be constantly harassed by Lycus's Sniper. And Lycus already going to go for 1 point headshot, 1 point take aim. He's looking to be very aggressive versus this Brewmaster, and that's something that is almost unavoidable without someone like Lust sitting here and just babysitting this Brewmaster. So this Sniper, as weird as it may seem, is actually going to be a decent pick. And not only does it force the Witch Doctor to be here to help the Brewmaster, and it's obviously a win in and of itself, This is also kind of winning the lane a little bit more for Tubby the Fat. This lane is pushing out. Fluff and Stuff is going to do his best to stack, pull, and keep the creep wave in a manageable position, but Tubby the Fat is bikiest hero at level 6. Yes, when he gets to that level 6 mark, a Chronosphere Void is a lot more deadly than a non-Chronosphere Void, but let's be honest, he's not a Clockwork, he's not a Beastmaster, he's not a hero that just takes a huge spike in power once he hits level 6. Because even if you drop a Chronosphere, it's reliant on your teammates and or yourself to actually do the damage during said spellcast. But regardless, forcing Lust out of that lane, making life a little bit easier for Tubby the Fat. Things are going pretty well for the Unreal Tango side thus far. Your boy JC doing pretty good against his Tidehunter, actually doubling up his CS. Ush is going to be free farming this bottom lane. Not really too much that Unreal Tangos could do about this. I mean, there's nothing that I don't think they could possibly do about this. Fluff and Stuff with an Invis rune. And that's actually not going to do anything because he doesn't have any Grave Chill, so that kind of sucks. He's going to move his way up to the top lane, so we might be seeing the makings of a rotation into a 3v3 lane up in top with Tubby the Fat getting more and more space. Now Faceless Void versus Tiny, especially when he backtracks 10% that toss, is going to be much better than any other lane. I mean, the Faceless Void matchup, you can't really ask for much better than 1v1 versus a Tiny. At least as far as heroes that are realistically picked in semi-pro games. Because Tubby the Fat, he could just do stuff like this. I mean, Ush has Avalanche Toss, but Tubby the Fat, again, still has a lot more restoratives left. He still has 2 Tangos and a Salve after all that harassment time, so he's doing pretty well for himself on the bottom end. Lust, in the meantime, looking to stack some creeps, perhaps in preparation for later, but your boy JC got IX Mike. There's the damage from the Skywrath Mage coming through, plus the spins, and IX Mike is going to go down. The reason why Axe versus Tidehunter is not a terrible matchup for the Axe, though it is melee versus melee, is that the Tidehunter, he really excels at anchor smashing enemies to reduce their damage, and Axe doesn't really rely on his right clicks. It's all his passive, so he doesn't even have to spend mana to do damage to his Tidehunter. And well, that's a losing lane for the Tidehunter, and you could really tell at the moment. He's 8 for 1 versus the 25 for 6. Axe is just being super aggressive versus the Tide, and he has another 1200. Fluff and Stuff for free, and that's a kill that should not be happening on this bottom lane. When you have 2 heroes down here, this Faceless Void should not be getting farm. Getting kills, that's a little bit of a problem, I would say. But yeah, he could just do that. This lane is suddenly looking really, really good for Unreal Tangos. In the meantime, Lust is just stacking up Ancients so that later on the Tidehunter can anchor smash him down. Maybe the Tiny with his Aghanim's could do it if they're going in for the really long haul. Ush is forced into a bottle pickup, and I mean that's not a terrible thing. I mean bottle's a pretty good item on Tiny. I mean you see Tinies go mid all the time, pick up bottles, but Faceless Void doesn't need to invest that heavily. And now with Skywrath Mage in the area, they're going to once again look for this Visage, and they're probably going to find him. There's only 1 point in time walk, but I think if they catch him with the slow, that should be enough. And the slow is there. There's the concussive shot. There's the seal, and there are the tiny little butterflies to beat down on Visage. He goes down, and Flying Zebra is going to find that kill. Sentry wards, 500 gold, plus boots already on a support. Meantime, top lane. Just caught the tail end of that dive. Your boy JC running away from Lust with that extra movement speed from the Culling Blade. He's going to get out of there safe and sound, and he is very, very close to his Blink Dagger. Can they kill this tower? This tower is going to survive for a little bit longer, but bottom lane, they're going to drop a Chronosphere once again. Ush is going to be the one who is going to drop this time. It's 5-0. In favor of Unreal Tangos, and Sneaky Nicks. They're not looking too good. None of their lanes are winning right now. Brewmaster's getting a decent amount of farm with that bottle, keeping him up, but he's not denying farm to Sniper. They're not applying pressure to Sniper. Tidehunter, where normally you would assume that's going to be an instantly one lane, is really, really struggling versus this Axe pickup, who, by the way, is only 1 right click away from picking up his Blink Dagger. It's a very, very quick Blink Dagger. 6 minutes is a quick Blink Dagger on pretty much anyone. Looks like Knicks are going to look to make a little bit of aggression happen on the bottom end, but Tubby the Fat, he has no mana, so that is a viable kill in theory, should things go the way it's planned. Okay, he's not going to go for his Blink Dagger, going to slow down for a Ring of Protection. It could end up biting him in the ass, but The ass that we have to worry about is Tubby the Fats on the bottom lane. This Lust is going to open up with a cask. Let's see how many times it's going to stun him. Only once. Avalanche Toss is available. Ush, though, going to get Concussive Shot and pull back. A little bit scared, respecting that Skywrath Mage. They're going to be forced to let that Faceless Void go. In the meantime, all the other Unreal Tango's members just farming up happily in their respective lanes. And Faceless Void, Power Treads, Poor Man's Shield this early on in the game. He's looking pretty good for himself. And now Blink Dagger on your boy JC. He's going to intercept IX Mike. He does not have a call, though. So that's going to be fine, though. That's going to be just fine. There are no rush to make kills happen on that top lane, because Tidehunter not really getting that much. 21 for 2 is all well and good, but when you have an Axe sitting at 42 for 7, yeah, you know you're going to be in a little bit of a hard time down the road. Especially since a blink into a call could put some serious hurt into Tidehunter. Meanwhile, Tubby the Fat hunting for supports. He might catch one. Is there vision? There's a ping out. Oh, now there's vision. Target acquired. Time Walk, beat down. He's going to activate his healing. Chronosphere, though. Let's see if Tubby the Fat's lucky enough for bashes. Bash? Bash Lord? One more? Got him. No bashes needed. And Fluff and Stuff now is going to serve himself up, but here comes Sna. He does have a split and a clap. Tubby the Fat does have a Time Walk, could jump over the cliff, over the river, through the woods, or just duel Sna. There you go. Get out of there. Run, Tubby the Fat. He's going to run perfectly to safety. Lycus is in the area to provide any support should it be needed, but of course is not. He's going to escape just fine, Tubby the Fat, and he's going to walk away with that kill. Probably heading towards a Mask of Madness, I would say. But 0-6 right now, and 4,000 experience, 3,000 gold advantage. There's a call onto IX Mike. One spin, taking a big chunk out of that Tidehunter. Where are the other spins? He's going to get a second. There's a telekinesis. Where's the chop? Chop him down. One hit into chop. Boom! There we go. It's 250, right? Yeah, 250. One hit into chop. Exactly as advertised. Tidehunter going to go down solo. On the top lane, Blink Dagger Axe getting some serious value there. Brewmaster looking to use his split for the first time in this game. Going to go to the top lane along with the only level 3 Witch Doctor. Taking a quick look at the levels support. Level 6, level 5. Whereas there is a level 3 and a level 5 on the Nyx side. They have a Gush, they have a Ravage. They have all the big teamfight ultimates. But can they catch this Axe? Because Brewmaster doesn't have a Blink. So the only way that they can catch him is if they throw a cask or if they could gush him. But your boy JC, I think once he sees this coming, he'll either blink or he'll blink out or blink in. And either way, Nyx are not going to be happy about that. But Unreal Tangos, they still don't know that the Witch Doctor's up here, but doesn't really matter. A 2-level cask is only going to be really relevant if it hits onto only heroes. If there's any creeps around, then it's only a level 2 cask. There's not too much to worry about there. And with 3 heroes up on this top lane for Unreal Tangos, Lycus is going to be the one in trouble, actually. IX Mike going to come right around for the Ravage, but it's a little bit too late because the Visage has already gone down. Here comes your boy JC. Tubby the Fat's going to try to go for Lust. Bashes. That's doing some pretty serious damage. Lust going to get chopped, and now IX Mike is completely walled off from safety. Chop number 2. Chop number 2 is there. It's 0-10. Incoming 0-22, guys. It's going to happen. It's not a fun game to be on the Nyx side. I mean, Ush, still in this bot lane, you would expect him to get a lot of farm, but the Faceless Void matchup just being so unfriendly to him, and now he might be in a little bit of trouble. Faceless Void not exactly healthy, so probably they would think better, but Lycus, oh, he's set up to intercept this courier. The courier is just going to follow. Okay, he's going to fly away. Fly away, little courier, fly away. Blink Dagger's being picked up now on the Brewmaster. Maybe now that'll let Nyx get some action going. But still, it's not looking too great for the Nyx side. They need this Brewmaster and the Ravage to really lead to some great, results. But they used the Ravage in the mid lane first time, and it did pretty much nothing. With Lycus slowly chipping down this mid lane, this tower's either going to drop to the sniper or force some rotations in. 93 HP. Fluff and Stuff can deny it, though, with so much support in the area. And now IX Mike going to get assassinated, plus the little birds. Here comes the Panda. Maybe finally get a kill on the Flying Zebra. Will get one kill. They're on the board, guys. 0-22 is no longer a possibility. Cycloning up that Axe, gonna dispel that. Another rock onto Axe, but he has a Vanguard Magic Stick. Killing this guy is going to be a pain in the ass, especially when he's just gonna go to town on Ush. So much damage on this Tiny. He's gonna toss him up, but the chop is still not available. Actually, Magic Stick charges, chop his head off. There you go. Another split now, stolen by the Rubik. Snaz gonna get a little bit of a taste of his own medicine. It's a double kill for your boy JC. In the meantime, the Faceless Void gets a solo kill on the Visage, who was, I guess, heading to mid lane to help his buddies. And now Lust is in a ton of trouble. Concussive shot, Mystic Flare, easy kill, easy life for the Skywrath Mage. He's level 7. It's 1-15, guys, and things are looking very grim. Tolera is going to find IX Mike, but Lycus is here with a double damage rune. Are they going to collect this Ancient stack? Oh, that will just be the final nail in the coffin. Like, this Ancient stack and the fact that they have Brewmaster Tidehunter and a late game Tiny, like, without this Ancient stack, Tiny's going to be really poor. Tidehunter is going to be years away from his Blink Dagger, because he's, 2,000 gold away from that. And Lycus is clearing the stack with zero danger to him at all. He's sitting down in the low ground, which is, of course, going to hurt his DPS a little bit, but who cares? He has a double damage rune. Your boy JC is going to come in for cleanup, and, well, it looks like Nyx. They're going to throw Hail Mary. All 5 in the top lane. Maybe with the Ravage and Split Power that is still on the table, they could take a fight, but Lycus, no. Lycus, don't go in there. Yeah, he's going to get caught. He's going to blow the smoke, but, someone had to. Right? Someone had to have taken that bullet. This tower is going to go down, but at what cost? Bottom lane tower is probably going to be the trade at the very least. There's not too much pushing power on either end of the mid or bottom lane, so taking these towers is going to be a slow, methodical process, whereas 5 heroes on top. This tower is definitely going to go down, but your boy JC, he sees a target. He sees 5 of them on the top lane, and he wants in. He's got a Blink Dagger, and he's got nothing to lose. He's got 800 gold to lose. No, he's going to think better of it. Okay. Axe is usually the manliest hero, but that doesn't mean he's irrational. That just means he will man up when necessary, and that was not necessary. So they're going to sack that tower. 2-15, though. Nyx showing some signs of life, but not enough. They still need life support. They still need something to go very well for them. And, well, Tubby the Fat now picking up a Aghanim Scepter almost before his level 2 ultimate. Would have been the second time in a day. He's going to put this at a very low cooldown and make it even longer. Just get some full details out there for everyone. But looks like top lane, they're just going to keep going for it. They got the Ravage, they got the Split. They want as much value as they can get. They're going to smoke up, everyone's going to teleport back. And look at this positioning, beautiful. IX Mike in the back, Ush in the front to tank up. I mean, tanking your Tiny isn't really what you want to do, but this is perfectly call-proof. There's no way that Axe can get a call onto more than one person. Chronosphere, the same thing. Bumsov's going to get the brunt of the Chronosphere damage. Your boy JC going to try to look to interrupt that Ravage, but it's not going to happen. Snaw's going to jump in for that clap. Tubby the Fat is going to go down first and foremost. Your boy JC getting to spin so many times. Are there any Culling Blade targets? Doesn't look like it. Here comes the Skywrath Mage, who could get hit very hard, though. Brewmaster still going to look towards your boy JC, and Lust and Tolera not really contributing too much in this fight, but the jump in for a steal. Tolera has secured Split. In the meantime, Lycus doesn't even care. He's on this bottom lane. He's going to spot that Brewmaster is going to come in, but still, does he care? Probably not. He has a Mask of Madness. He's going to go to town onto Snarl. Look at the damage. Holy damage, Batman. Earth, they lose the Faceless Void. They draw out 2 ultimates. They keep the tower up. I mean, it's not the best for them, but definitely not the worst. Now Blink Dagger on Sniper. This guy is going to be quite the rat moving forward. Level 4 Shrapnel. Not exactly the best pushing skill in the book, but that's perfectly okay when you're just going to chip, 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 and then blink away. And Axe really showing his durability there. Vanguard with now a Blade Mail. Brewmaster with the Primal Split. They had a Ravage on board as well, but it just wasn't enough to take a decisive fight. And Tubby the Fat has another Chronosphere up because of that Aghanim Scepter, so if he catches anyone, such as Ush, looking really delicious there, blink forward, he's going to get hit with a little bit of Avalanche Remnant, but that's fine because Chronosphere is Chronosphere, and killing Tiny is as easy as that. Ush is going to drop, and Chronosphere, look, it's practically up already. 50 seconds, and when you have a huge teamfight ultimate like Chronosphere up like that, you could really just plan your play around that. Like 50 seconds, find a gank, find a tower, push a tower, do something. Hell, even take Roshan. Use Chronosphere on Roshan, who cares? What's the worst that could happen? Mid tier 2 is going to be brought down, and Nyx, they are way too far behind to actually do anything about this. You have to worry about another jump in from Tubby the Fat, as well as a blink in from your boy JC. IX Mike in the front lines doesn't even have Ravage yet. If they had Ravage and Split, maybe. But they know that the Rubik stole the Split from before. So Tolera is now a Brewmaster. Congratulations, Rubik. You've been promoted to Brewmaster. There's a slow push to the mid tier 2. Snas spotted by Rubik, I want to say. Oh, now spotted. Probably spotted. Gonna get lifted up, but the jump forward from your boy JC. They're gonna try to go for Axe Mike. Chronosphere onto 3. Snaz gonna jump in, but the split is gonna happen from the Rubik. Snaz gonna split himself, but already one has brought down. It is the Tidehunter. Doesn't have a route for this flight. Flying Zebra is going to be focused by the Brewmaster. Gonna try to go fluff this up, but the Soul Assumption will bring him down. Lycus, Cycloned up, will get himself out of there just fine. Everyone is gonna escape, including Tolera, blinking out of there. The Brewmaster going to reassemble himself, and Axe looking to re-engage. Going to get a call onto 3. The man mode has been activated. One dunk. He's going to get tossed away. He will die in transit, but Sna, as well as everyone else on his team, are going to fall. It's a clean wipe. Tidehunter has respawned. Axe and Skywrath down for the count, and the GG has been called. Nyx know that there is no coming back from this. 5-21. The manliness from Axe jumping back in at less than like 300 HP. Enough to end the game. His manliness shattered the internet, as well as the Radiant Ancient. Thanks for watching, guys. I believe there should be one, possibly 2 other games to go, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the cast, then twitch.tv/MikeLoris. I'm assuming the audio was fine, or else someone would have told me. But yeah, some more games to go, guys. Don't know who it's going to be on the other end, but it's definitely going to be URT. They've been winning. And, well, no shit, they've been winning. They've been doing pretty well, is what I want to say. Thanks for watching, guys. GG.